Hey, how's it going, everybody? If you're new here, welcome in. And if you've been here before, you know the drill. Smash the like button on the way in. I'm Rollshambo, the connoisseur and collector of all things sharp and shiny. And today I'm excited because we are checking out the Remette Wild Species. Thank you to Remette for being so kind and sending this my way for review. I reached out to them. Because I saw this design and I'd had enough, because I keep seeing these really cool knives by Remette and I really wanted to check one out. So I reached out and they were kind enough to send this to me for review. That won't change the nature of my review. If there's something that I like, I'll say it. If there's something that I don't like, I will say that as well. But I'm going to give you a bit of a spoiler alert. There's a lot to like on this knife. So let's talk about what does it cost? What is it made out of? And of course, what is the Rockwell hardness? I know that that's probably something that you're really curious about as well. Starting off, this is going to come in just shy of $190. So what does your hard-earned money get you? Because that is premium level knife money at the low end. We're looking at an overall length of 7.9 inches, so just shy of 8 inches long, with a 3.5 inch blade, depending upon where you decide to measure it at. Some people are going to measure it down here and they'll get, you know, a 3.3 inch cutting edge, or if they do it up here, they might get 3.6. It's going to be right there in the realm of 3.5 inches on the blade, with milled and chamfered titanium handle scales. These handle scales are really, really good, but that's not all. You will also get a 3D milled backspacer and of course a 3D milled titanium pocket clip as well. You might be noticing there's absolutely no billboarding on the blade. In fact, the only place where you actually see anything at all is on the pocket clip where it says Remette, and then right here on the finger choil where it says M390. I've been begging companies for a long time to actually place the steel stamp in a location that's not on the blade, or if it is, that it's not readily available, because when you have a blade this beautiful that's been two-tone brushed and blasted on the finish, I don't want my attention being drawn anywhere else. The aesthetics of a knife matter, because the better looking something is, the more likely it is to make its way into your pocket. And this one definitely deserves to be there for some very good reasons. The first is that the ergos are fantastic. These are buttery. And a lot of that has to do with this radius that we're seeing here right on the spine of the handle scales. That level of chamfering is great, and it's going to fool a lot of people into thinking that these scales are contoured when they're not, but it doesn't matter because it has the same effect. Where your hand makes contact with the spine of that handle scale, it's rounded out, which means that there is absolutely no issue with the grip whatsoever. Now, for being a full-size pocket knife made out of full metal, we've got titanium, we've got M390, it is milled out here on both the clip side and the show side scales. So despite that, this is only a 4-ounce knife. Some scales will even read it at 3.9 ounces. That's fantastic, and it's very well balanced as well. I have no issue indexing this knife whatsoever. It feels quite natural in the hands, and in a reverse grip as well, it also feels good. So aside from the aesthetics making the difference in wanting to carry this knife, the other part is going to be the ergonomics, because just like you wouldn't carry a knife you don't want to look at, you also wouldn't carry a knife that isn't comfortable to hold in the hand, and this scores points on both ends. One of the things that's really important to understand about Remette is that at this price tag, there's going to be a lot of haters out there that say, well, what about the Rockwell hardness? I bet it comes in pretty soft. It's got to be a soft Rockwell. This is not a Tucson knife, guys. The last time I saw a Remette M390 blade tested, it was done on the Love Them Knives channel, and they tested that M390 at 62.6. I'm going to let that sink in for the people in the back. The last time a Remette M390 knife was Rockwell tested, it came in at 62.6. Now, are all the Remette M390 knives going to come in that range? No. Whenever you do batches of heat treats, you're going to have some varying results. That's why there is a target range. The target range that Remette shoots for is 60 to 62, and that is fantastic. At 60 to 62, you're going to be getting quite a lot better edge retention than you would on M390 that's coming in at 58 to 60. It is staggering the difference that 1 or 2 Rockwell makes on a super steel like M390, but when the heat treat results in a 62.5 Rockwell hardness, you truly do get the best edge retention that you can get out of M390 without experiencing blade burn. And while I can't say that every single Remette M390 knife is going to have a Rockwell that high, the fact that one was tested at that range is very comforting indeed, and it's a strong indicator of quality. Let's talk about the QC. Lockup is right and tight, no wiggle, no jiggle. The action is running on ceramic bearings and it's very smooth. It is in fact what I would consider to be a guillotine. It will drop shut, no issue there as well. The detent is on the stiffer side, which is actually favorable for thumb studs, because when it breaks that detent, it rockets out and you know that it's going to fly out. It also has a front flipper, which is easy to use as well. So for those of you who like fidgeting with your knives, this one's not going to let you down or disappoint you either. Honestly, there's only 1, maybe 2 things that I can nitpick on this knife. And the first is going to be something that really annoys me, and that is T6 body screws. It's kind of a non-issue. The reason why I don't like T6 body screws is because the only screws I've ever stripped on a pocket knife have been T6. And the only Torx bits I've ever broke maintaining a pocket knife has been T6. I've never had that issue with T8. We do have a T8 pivot. It's not the end of the world. It's just my personal preference. The other nitpick that I have is that it looks like the clip is reversible, but in fact, it is not. We have a screw right there, which lines up with the screw right here. But if you were to try to flip that clip over, you'd find out pretty quickly that it does not line up the same way on the other side. So I'm sorry, lefties, they were not thinking about you on this one, but who knows? Maybe in the future they will. But to get back to business, guys, for $188, which is what I am currently seeing this listed as, you can buy these on their website for that price. You could also buy it on Amazon if you want to get it a bit quicker. I think that that price is absolutely fantastic. If you were to put a Wii logo on here, it'd probably cost $300. If you were to put a Riot logo on here, you'd probably spend $350, especially considering the fact that you are getting a very well heat treated M390 and some very well chamfered and milled out titanium. But let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section down below. What do you think of the Remette Wild Species? Is this one that you're going to consider picking up, or is it a pass for you? If not, why not? Let's have that conversation in the comment section down below. And by the way, if you want to watch more awesome knife and EDC content, make sure to click on one of the videos that pops up next.